The period of purple crying is delivered in 3 doses. They happen shortly after the baby is born, within the first couple weeks of baby's life, and that's just an introduction to what the period of purple crying is. And if you're not familiar with it, some babies experience this purple crying period where they cry and cry and cry uncontrollably, and they're not able to be soothed, and there's nothing you can do, and they can cry for hours in a day. And it's normal. There's nothing wrong with the baby. It's just a developmental phase. But what we know from our research is that most of these shaken baby syndromes happen during the period of purple crying. And it's easy to understand why. If your baby cries for hours on end and there's nothing you can do to soothe the baby, it can be a very frustrating experience. And it can be very troublesome too, if you think that your baby is in pain or there's something wrong with your baby. So we want to make sure that parents know that this is a normal stage of development. Yes, if you have concerns, you absolutely should see your pediatrician or the physician. But for many children, this is just a phase that they go through, and they'll grow out of it, usually around 5 or 6 months.
It's called the period of purple crying, and it's an educational program aimed at parents who have infants. Infants that go from age 5 to 6 weeks old until they're 3 months old, because most babies, and a lot of people don't realize this, they think their baby has what's called colic. And I know you've heard that over years and years, over time. It's always been colic. All babies go through this period where they are very fussy and they cry a lot. And there's no reason at all. They just have an immature digestive system, and they have tummy pain, and they don't know how to deal with it. Well, parents get very frustrated because it's hard to have a crying baby. They can't talk to you, they can't tell you what's wrong. And there's been a high incidence in West Michigan of injuries and deaths to babies in that age group, and we think it's directly related to that. So the state of Michigan has targeted our area for this grant program and given us a certain amount of money for educational materials and getting the materials out to parents who have babies in that age group to try to let them know what's going on so they kind of understand it a little better and know it's coming.
We're working through a couple different methods right now. We are working with some of our home visiting programs, and they are providing that education to the parents, and then we are following that up with some community education as well. We're working on some new outreach avenues, which would include delivering that information while parents are at the hospital after the birth of the baby, and we're also looking at providing that information during the well baby checks that they have at the pediatrician's office. What we haven't talked about is our partnership with Baker College nursing students. The Baker College nursing students are helping us deliver this program. We had a group of student nurses last year who really took to this program and felt it was important to deliver in the community. So they really spearheaded the beginning of the program and sort of doing some of that project planning. And they've continued on in this semester, and we are now looking at opportunities to expand program delivery with the help of the Baker College student nurses.
We can do very simple things. Educate parents on infant behaviors and care, and we'll have less injuries to kids in the area and less long-term issues. And if you have an injury of a child, a brain injury or a neck injury, that's a long life. It's something that's going to cost medically for the rest of their life. It really does. I mean, it's hard to understand what the implications are, but when you work a pediatric unit and you get the readmits of those children that have those injuries, their lives will never be the same. And we can do something so small to prevent that injury from happening.